Making sure that I'm recording. Welcome, 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 SHE-ness Tribe. Today is a very special day for me to be with you. This is, of course, Wednesday, and we're together on Wednesdays. It is September 30th, 2020. I'm the creator of SHE-ness Tribe. I'm Roya Mattis, and I'm making sure we're on live. As I'm scrolling here, we are. Welcome. Thank you for those of you that are already tuning in. Today is a special day for me. Today I'm going to talk to you about energy. But today, I keep circulating the moments and the lessons and the presence of where I am that I want to bring from my heart to yours as I celebrate and grieve and recognize the anniversary of the ascension of my mom's passing. This is her first year. We lost her. She ascended to heaven 1 year ago today, September 30th, 2019, at approximately 11:37 a.m. She was at that moment held by my dad, my brother just below me, one of my other brothers, and myself. We surrounded her and played music that day, that morning. I stayed with her morning and night for 3 weeks. It was a long 2.5-year journey of a lot of pain for her and a lot of growth. I remember her always saying, and she would remind me, she said, you know, Roya, one of the things I always loved and was grateful for is that I never had a lot of pain. She had an autoimmune disease. She had many other things. She had non-A, non-B, non-C, non-specific autoimmune hepatitis. She also had a hypothyroid condition, and she ended up having cirrhosis of the liver, which can happen over time with this autoimmune disease. She had very, very brittle bones from years of prednisone, which eats away at your bones. And it was like Swiss cheese. So over time, she ended up breaking her thigh and her hip several times. And she was bedridden for the last 2.5 years. And I watched my mom change. Why am I sharing this with you today? Today we're talking about energy. Today we're talking about health. Today we're talking about accessing the level of life in which you desire to have, because there will be moments in which we're going to be unable to have it. One of the things that is true about my mom is that there were some things that she could not have prevented. And there are some things that maybe you are dealt in your hand in life, or your friends or family member, that is just a part of their journey. In discussing with my mom, though, and some of the recent discoveries about autoimmune diseases, and please take this with all the love and transparency and desire to maybe gift information to you, and you can take it or leave it, is that there has been connections about holding emotion to disease. That emotion is energy, and that good or bad energy has to deposit somewhere if we don't intentionally let it out. And one of the beautiful and hard things about my mom was that she stuffed her emotions very, very well. She was a very good Catholic girl, and she passed on the gift and the burden of guilt that I have worked very hard to get out of. And if you've ever watched me or listened to me in the past, you've heard me share God's specific intervention in my life, where he said to me, I did not make my children to feel guilty. When you feel guilt, you block me out and I cannot do my work. That was a big one for me. And she said, had she cried it out, spoken it out, yelled it out, perhaps it would not have deposited. We could actually track her diseases about 6 months to a year after tragic things that happened, including a goiter that she had at 19 years old, which I didn't know until months before she died that she had a beautiful son who I'm so gifted with, to have an older brother that we just learned about a year and a half ago, who's been a treasure in our life. She had him at 19. About 6 months later, she developed a huge goiter, which is very unusual for 19. We can surmise that maybe it was her suppressed emotions. Well, why am I sharing this with you? Mom said there were things that she would have done differently. So exercise, so intentional energy infusion, so that we can max out the life that we're given today until the moment so we don't have choices. And I just want to give a sidebar as I go into this high octane energy habits portion, that if you're grieving, if you're feeling a loss, if you have somebody or some buddies that you're holding deep in your heart. I had a paradigm shift gift from an outreach of a friend of mine today. And that paradigm shift was, oh my gosh, today is not the 1 year of losing my mom. Today is the first year that she gets to celebrate. Today, she's celebrating her first year of ascending to heaven, her first year of getting to whatever it is you might envision your spirit, your energy goes to. I'm going to celebrate that with her. That was a paradigm shift. And whether it's right or wrong, it's the rightness for me, because I choose to shift everything that happens into where is the gift for me? How can the good, bad, and the ugly be a treasure? And so today, on the first day of the year of anniversary for my mom not being on this earth, I celebrate with her. I celebrate her free of pain. I celebrate her with the people that she loves. I celebrate her oneness and her knowingness of all things. I celebrate her connection in our hearts. I celebrate her life, and I celebrate her joy that must be on the other side. So with that, let's talk about accessing your high octane energy. I had an adrenal crash from a misprescribed prednisone drug from a standard cough in 2000 and I believe it was 2015. It was December, and they did not give me a taper. It was 60 milligrams of prednisone. If you're ever given prednisone, I highly recommend you insist on a taper. As a matter of fact, my mom was on prednisone, and she said, Roya, you really need to have a taper. So I called back to the urgent care clinic saying, hey, I really need a taper. And they said, well, it's just a short time and a low dose, which it wasn't. And it was 1 week, short time, not low dose. I should have been given a taper. My adrenals crashed out. Your adrenals run the engine, basically, of your body. And then, therefore, they run your hormones are affected and everything is affected. It took me 3 years to get my energy back. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on homeopathic treatment and other care. I had the energy of an 87 to an 89-year-old, according to the energy Richter that they had me stand on a regular basis. And so I came up with what the gift was, is that it helped me to see that your soul, your body is a place your soul gets to dance in. Your body is the place your soul gets to dance in. And if your body cannot take you to where your dreamscapes are, you can only go as far as your imagination. And so really infusing healthy habits for high octane energy gives the space and the honor to your calling. So it's not about you, it's to whatever you've been called to do, whether it's been called to be highly energized with your children, in your relationship, in your work, in all of it, in the joy you express in your life, in the adventures you might want to have for travel. It's our job to create space for our soul to get to have those adventures here today. This is the vessel in which we've been given, but there are so many temptations and it feels so hard sometimes. And so I think it's got to boil down to simplicity, because habit is everything. It's not what we do sometimes. It's not what we do in sprints and spurts. It's what we do as a regular, and we don't feel deprived in life doing it. And so over those times, I got to respect my body, and I got to really honor and understand what different things do in the body. And I got to create a machine that runs the dream in high energy octane habits. Some of the other things I did was I spent 10 days in a life mastery workshop in Florida, in Boca Raton, Florida, with Tony Robbins, where we did fasting and really worked on our understanding on health and the human anatomy, so forth, and learned some simple basic habits there as well. It was at that time I climbed a telephone pole to the top, jumped off the top, proclaiming my freedom of sugar, because I am actually very sensitive to starch and sugar, and I kept testing my waters and sugar with this really addiction because I couldn't give it up. And it was a big mark moment of like, it no longer rules my life. Goodbye, 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 sugar. And that was like a jump off freeing moment. So if you're like struggling with something that's kind of a burden that you know is harming your body, maybe you want to connect or create a significant moment that you declare freedom of that. That really, honestly, was one significant moment for me to cleanse that burden that was on my back. I do have cravings every now and then, usually around my cycle, but I don't have this need for sugar anymore, which is really, really interesting, because it was such a big thing for me for such a long time. So here are a few things, and I have a high octane energy habits course that's 4 weeks that allows you to go step by step to set up the things, because when you agree, it's not what we know, it's what we do. And so I take what we know and I help you break it down into the doing over a month. So from the beginning to the end of 4 weeks, you actually have a machine in your system that is a part that's incorporated, that's simple, that allows you to execute a life of high energy. What's been the benefit for me? Now when I go into a workout class, which I was not even able to do that, I had to start with movement from the chair. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't have any energy, one of the ways to grab energy from around you, because there is energy around you, even if it's not in your body, and how to grab that. So I'll be sure to tell you a little of that today too. But I go into these workout classes and I don't do honestly enough to be the head of the class, meaning I don't go 5, 6, 7 days a week. I go, when I was going pre-COVID, I would go 3 to 5, mostly on the 3 time side, and always in awe of the vessel from the simple habits. All I can connect is the nutrition that I infuse, that I'm able to outpace everyone in the class or match the top person. So what are some of those things? Here's a peek. First of all, if you have no energy, I want to give you hope. You can sit on the edge of your chair and do something that Tony Robbins called priming. Priming is a snap up into the air. You're grabbing the energy in the environment and you're pulling it down into your body. In fact, in the notes below, I will post one of the things where you can follow along with priming, which incorporates his visualization with the oxygenation, with gratitude, with connection to your higher power. It's a beautiful, prayerful space to do on a daily basis if you allow that in your life. I go over that in more detail in the course, but you literally sit at the edge of your chair and you do this motion, and you do it 10 to 20 times depending on your capability. And it looks like this, but it goes through your nose. So you want to blow your nose ahead of time. It goes like this. You do it through your nose typically. And then you let your body rest. And you want to sit in the tingle, which the meaning is not that it's bad, it's that it's in oxygen. Your body is actually oxygenating. And then you, after about 30 seconds or so, you do another cycle of 10, 15, or 20 again. And that allows you to grab energy outsourced when it's not living in your body. Yes? Okay. I'm remembering my mom. I'm feeling her. I'm celebrating her in heaven at this moment. Thank you for your patience, possible patience in my share today. Mama, let's do this. Okay. So one of the simple habits is water. We are made mostly of water, and you want to be sure that you're putting fresh circulated water, not sitting in stagnant, old, milky, mildewy water. Imagine a stagnant pond that doesn't move. You might have water in your body, but it is stagnant and stale and not flushing those toxins out unless you're intentionally drinking enough. You want to drink half your body weight in ounces, and if under medical approval, you could do all of your body weight in ounces, measured daily. I get a full gallon, and I carry it with me and pour from that, so I'm measuring how much to do. You might have a cup and you mark on your cup how many times you've had a drink that day. You can use a Sharpie marker and use alcohol to remove it from a plastic cup, and you know how many ounces that has and how many times to refill it. So whatever your system is, measure your water. Second thing is oxygenation. They have healed cancer. They have healed so many ailments from just oxygen alone. Now you can actually even kill yourself from oxygen if you do too much, which is meaning it's so powerful. So intentionally breathing. You can go on YouTube and you can look up breathing measurement or breathing scale or breathing timer, and it will help you to breathe intentionally. And you want to breathe all the way into your diaphragm where the majority of the oxygen is, which is 80% comes from the diaphragm. Breathe deep, low, filling your oxygen, filling your lungs, holding that air and breathing it out through a straw. So holding it and emptying all of the carbon dioxide out of your lungs and then refilling. And so you intentionally do that for about a minute daily is really all it takes, a minute to two. And you can do that while you're doing something else as long as you're fitted into your routine. So 1 is water, 2 is oxygen, 3 is actually chewing your food by actually counting it and allowing the first place of digestion to happen in the mouth with the saliva allows you to access more of the complete nutrients that you're eating, because most of us don't chew enough. So you want to make it mush in your mouth and then swallow it if at all possible to make that a habit. So you might want to incorporate that, let's say in October. In October, for the first half of October, for the first week, I'm going to count my chews, okay? And you want to decide it's going to be 40, 50, 60, 100 chews per bite. Making sure your food goes to mush and then swallowing. The fourth thing that you want to intentionally do that's simple on a regular basis is actually elimination. So we talked about water, we talked about oxygenation, we talked about chewing, and elimination is really key. A lot of women in particular, we don't eliminate enough. We have constipation challenges. If you're doing a cleanse, by the way, it's really important that you either do an enema with it or you go and have colon hydrotherapy. Look it up for places in your area. Colon hydrotherapy is like chiropractor back in the day. Ooh, who does that? Ooh, that's voodoo, voodoo, yuck, yuck. Honestly, to cleanse your colon and get the muck on the gunk off the walls, all those toxins that have been pressed in every day that you don't eliminate 2 feet, 2 inches by 2 feet a day gets compacted on the walls of your intestines. So important to do a spring cleaning 3 in a row to get that out from a reputable facility while taking a lot of probiotics. So elimination. And then I have a drink routine that I do every day. And so then it becomes this infusion of nutrients and a natural, what do they call it? I'm so sorry. Like a mini fast. It's like I apologize. I don't even know the name because I just do it so regularly, but I let my body rest from food digestion almost every day, 6 to 7 days a week. And I put together a bunch of nutrients that I don't buy a premix because sometimes they have a lot of fillers in there. So I have holistic, organic, natural ingredients and put them in cups, little containers, 7 days a week of containers so that it's easy to do. Because remember, if it's not easy, you're not going to do it. And I'll tell you the drink, the first drink, and then the other one is so filled I won't have an opportunity to tell you all of the ingredients today. But if you're interested in wanting to do this Healthy Habits course, it's a part of what I gift you, and it allows you to also do a great weight maintenance. So this is not a weight loss, although I was carrying an extra 20 pounds for a few years after my adrenal crash, and I just couldn't get it off. And I want you to go to my YouTube channel, actually, and I tell you how I dropped 10 pounds without dieting, and it tells you about an extra something I'm not going to have an opportunity to tell you in time today. So go to Roya Mattis, How I Lost 10 Pounds Without Dieting, and it will tell you one of the other key things that changed my energy, that changed my physicality, that allows me to, I don't count calories, I don't measure things, I don't watch anything in particular. It's all part of these healthy habits and a rewiring. Okay, so the first thing that I do though is every morning I drink a warm drink that has apple cider vinegar. Look up the complete benefits of Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother, and I put in lemon juice and cayenne pepper. Now cayenne pepper after a while doesn't boost your metabolism necessarily, but it can, and I figure it doesn't hurt, and I actually like it. Recently, I've added tart cherry, because tart cherry is actually very good for you. Now, manuka, honey, that honey has a lot of antibodies in there, especially for if you suffer with allergies. I'm not sure if it's okay to put in warm liquid, so I just take a quarter of a teaspoon and eat that, and then I drink this warm liquid, just a tea cup full, and it's about 6-8 ounces, and it helps to move all of the fat, the toxins and so forth through and out of your body, and get your digestive juices balanced so that you can have more of an alkaline system to start. Then it actually fills you up. If you're struggling with eating at night too much, you can do this at night, leave out the tart cherry, and it's quite delightful. I mean, I really actually like it. You can add the tart cherry at night. Instead of try it before you snack, okay? And then I follow it with my infused drink mix that has all the greens and collagen peptides and just tons of nutrients in there, even dry mushroom, because mushrooms are actually quite good for you. It's just the mold that can be in them. So if you get dehydrated mushroom, you get all the nutrients without the drawbacks of the shrooms, unless you happen to be allergic. You can leave out any of the ingredients that you're allergic to. But imagine our foods today just don't have the same level of nutrients they had 50 years ago, even, because our soil is so depleted. So we have to be very intentional about infusing that nutrients. The last tip I'm going to get you about healthy habits for high octane energy today is don't drink with your meal. I learned that from one of my great girlfriends who's a nutritionist, actually Sylvia Kalikak, who's the national sales director with Mary Kay, and she shared with me how your digestive juices are a certain balance, and when you drink with the food, it actually dilutes them and reduces your ability to digest as effectively as you would otherwise. So if you drink the warm water after the meal, it helps to break down the food better. Now your juices have mixed with all your food. Drink warm water, preferably lemon water, but warm water, and it helps to warm and liquefy the fats and move them through your system more effectively. So imagine fat in cold environment and fat in warm environment. It makes sense how it flushes it through the system. I hope this has been a benefit to you. Your energy is everything. Your energy allows you to show up with presence to the people you love. Your energy allows you to show up in presence of your life. Your energy allows you to fulfill your destiny. Your energy is the space your soul gets to dance in. So take care of your vessel so that you can take care of the life you want to lead and the people you love and the things you were born for. It is not impossible. It's right within your grasp. You can do all of the fun, incredible things that you already love with a few high octane energy habits. Feel free to private message me if you want to know any more. I'm so passionate about going from 89-year-old energy to outpacing everybody that I know in energy. And it was a lot in part of a gift of watching my mom not be able to access the energy that she wanted in the last years of her life. And in the years leading up, she was physically challenged in a lot of places. And I don't know about you, but if I feel like climbing a mountain, I want to climb a mountain. If I want to jump out of an airplane, I want to jump out of an airplane. If I want to swim in an ocean, if I want to run with my children, if I want to play tag, if I want to lay on a beach, if I want to take that 10-mile walk and have an incredible enlightened conversation with someone, if I want to be a triathlete, or if I want to hold a baby, I never want my body to stop me. And I never want yours to, because we have choices. God bless you, and thank you for letting me share today. I hope this has made a difference to you, and it's been a gift for me to come on and share. I'll see you next Wednesday as I reveal something very deep and personal in my life. And the reason I'm ready to share it is because everything I go through and grow through, I know it's to give back. And I hope it gives back to you or someone you know.